Joe DiMaggio was so devastated when Marilyn Monroe died that he brought flowers to her grave 3 times a week for more than 20 years. He never remarried, and his last words were, "I'll finally get to see Marilyn." Tokyo University's Medical Pathology Museum has a collection of 105 full-body tattoo skins. In the year 2000, a group of therapists were attempting to treat 10-year-old Candace Newmaker's attachment disorder. They were trying a controversial method known as rebirthing. Candace was first wrapped in flannels to represent a womb. She was then sat on by 4 grown adults and was told to free herself. Within 20 minutes, she started screaming and vomiting, but they continued the treatment. Nearly an hour later, she was dead. An untouched food shop was recently uncovered in the ruins of Pompeii. Traces of pork, fish, beef, and snails were even found in some of the containers. Last March, the Pentagon confirmed that UFOs are real, and nobody seemed to care. A new geoglyph of a cat was discovered in the Nazca Desert, and it appears to be the oldest one in the region. The 2,000-year-old artwork was overlooked for so long because the lines were badly faded over the years. An ancient Roman mosaic floor was discovered under a vineyard in northern Italy after decades of searching for it. And finally, a massive canvas of tens of thousands of Ice Age drawings of extinct animals was found in the Amazon rainforest. The find shows how little we know about the Amazon, and that there are still many great discoveries to be made. In 1860, a 20-year-old woman named Rhoda Derry was sent to a mental hospital after growing up with no signs of mental health problems. But she had been acting strange lately and was believed to have been possessed by a demon. For the next few decades, she literally lived in a small basket, and her muscles became so weak that it became impossible for her to move her legs or hips. She eventually scratched at her eyes until she went blind, beat her face until her front teeth were knocked out, and lost the ability to speak. In 1904, she was finally transferred to a different asylum where she would die 2 years later. A few days before he was assassinated, President Lincoln told several people about a dream he had. In the dream, Lincoln saw a soldier standing beside a casket, and he could also hear people weeping. Still dreaming, Lincoln asked the soldier, "Who's dead in the White House?" The soldier turned to him slowly and replied, "The president." In the late 1980s, a woman went on a vacation getaway where singles could meet other singles. She quickly thought she had met the man of her dreams and decided to sleep with him that night. When she woke up in the hotel room the next morning, the man was gone and there was a small wooden coffin on the table next to her. Inside was a note that read, "You are now HIV positive. Welcome to the world of AIDS." In 1984, singer Marvin Gaye was shot and killed by his own father on the day before his birthday. He used a gun that Marvin had gifted him despite their sour relationship. Marvin was said to be suicidal at the time, so he hit his father during an altercation. His father always said that if any of his kids tried to hit him, he would kill them. He shot Marvin once in the chest, and he was dead. When the first Star Wars movie premiered in 1977, France was still executing criminals with the guillotine. In 1967, 15-year-old James Gordon Wolcott shot and killed his mother, father, and sister after sniffing airplane glue. Today, he's an award-winning psychology professor and the head of the behavioral science department at a university in Illinois. Actor Barkhad Abdi only received $65,000 for his award-winning role in the movie Captain Phillips. After production, he returned to selling mobile phones at his brother's shop in a Minneapolis mall. Dwayne Johnson's beard in the movie Hercules was made out of the testicle hair of a yak. Actress Tammy Lynn Leppert, who played a small role in the movie Scarface, disappeared soon after filming. She hasn't been seen nor heard from since 1983, when she was only 18 years old. Paranormal Activity had a budget of only $15,000 but made nearly $200 million at the box office. During the first screening, people started walking out, and studio executives thought that the movie was bombing. They later learned that the viewers were leaving because they were too scared to continue watching. Coconut crabs have a great sense of smell and will travel in packs to find food. They'll eat virtually anything and are basically the raccoons of the Indo-Pacific Islands. A Kansas homeowner turned on his sprinklers before leaving to escape a wildfire. He returned to find his home completely intact while everything around it had burnt to the ground. In the 1950s, a family from Texas had a pet lion named Blondie. They never had a single incident with her, and she died of old age as a beloved member of the family. A Colombian woman was raised by monkeys after being kidnapped and abandoned in the jungle as a child. She spent 5 years living with a colony of capuchin monkeys before being rescued by hunters. When she was found, she didn't know how to cooperate with other humans. During World War II, JFK was stranded in the Solomon Islands and ended up carving a message into a coconut. A native islander delivered it to the closest US military base and saved his life. When he became president, Kennedy used the coconut as a paperweight on his desk in the Oval Office. This is a 1942 photo of Japanese troops using prisoners of war for target practice. During World War II, a German pilot spotted an American pilot's crippled plane in the sky. He noticed that the gunner was dead, the crew was injured, and that they didn't pose any threat. So instead of destroying the plane, he led it to safety and spared the men's lives. 40 years later, the two pilots reunited and became fishing buddies. In 2013, a 5-year-old girl was kidnapped out of her driveway in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But 15-year-old Tamar Boggs chased the car for 20 minutes until the kidnapper released the child. Iceland is so safe that parents routinely leave their babies outside to nap in their strollers while they run errands. This is a photo of Kwame Ajamu being told by a judge that he is a free man after being falsely imprisoned for 27 years. Future biotechnology could make prisoners feel as though they're serving a 1,000-year sentence in a matter of hours. Drugs and electronics could be developed to distort prisoners' minds into thinking that time was passing more slowly.